Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight we got Buttsy. Let's get him an applause here. Good googly moogly. Oh, the people love the Buttsy. And then we've got Brent Grant, Tour Insider. Just got to let that breathe sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But on tonight's episode, we've got the tee-off report with Buttsy. We're going to be getting into some clothing there. Then we've got some TGL recaps because, man, TGL has been absolutely fire, and I'll be talking about all of that. Had a full day of it yesterday, had a match tonight, and certainly it is absolutely killing it right now. People, even the ones who are like, oh, this is crap, technology sucks, even they're turning around to be like, holy shit, this is awesome. Awesome. And then we've got some Grass League updates, our local Grass League out here at Grass Clippings. We've got some updates around that. We've got the Genesis recap that happened this past weekend. And then we've got the Mexico Open at Vedanta World. That's all one word. Apparently I'm supposed to pronunciate that. But we've got a preview there. Butsy's beautiful voice. And then we've got our last topic of the night that everybody's going to want to hang on to. LIV Golf is on the decline.
No.
All right. So
no.
Please, no. And you can tell too by the way these Twitter X accounts are absolutely freaking out right now that they're in a tough spot right now. So
Adelaide was sick though, dude. I watched a little bit of that. That was
there. You go. See, you're one of the viewers for that pumped it up. That's great. Now, let's start off with a shout out to our sponsors. So good old Devereux Golf, folks. We're wearing it tonight. I've got the polo on. Butsy's got the hat on. Brent's got the t-shirt on underneath because it's cold outside. And fortunately, we haven't gotten him a sweater yet from good old Devereux, but we will. Now, go to DevereuxGolf.com. That is DEVEREUX golf.com. Utilize promo code PullHookGolf20 for 20% off your entire order at DevereuxGolf.com. Also want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Johnnie Walker. Tonight we've got the blue label. By the way, I don't know, I haven't shown this yet. I don't know if I should show it quite yet. But the blue label bottle here with the engraving Pull Hook Golf on it. Very nice gesture. Toodaloo to good old Johnnie Walker. And by the way, make sure you're 21 years and older. Drink responsibly, folks. Little disclaimer there.
Yes.
Can we see the bottle?
You want to see the bottle?
Yeah.
I do want to see the bottle.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, let's see the bottle.
Come on.
Dude, and they...
Oh, I hear glasses.
It's their little deal there. So we've got, you guys see that right there? Pull Hook Golf engraved on that.
Yeah.
Johnnie Walker blue.
Go on, Kang.
Oh, the LIV cult's going to absolutely lose their minds over that as well.
Go off, Kang.
Okay, no, like that's sick.
That's pretty dope.
That's
pretty
really cool,
damn
dude.
dope.
Yeah.
They're going to say you bought it.
Well, we did.
Absolutely.
Well, of course we did.
Of course we did. Yeah.
Literally, we're spending millions of dollars on making all of this up.
Yeah, I mean, this show, we've got a budget of about Buttsy, how much do you put into this show in terms
More
of
than
your
the USAID?
investment?
Man, I'm about lot of lifetime. I've been investing my time.
That's exactly right. But Buttsy is by far our biggest investor. So he definitely spending a lot of time doing this. Now, as we get into it, let's move into the good old tee-off report with our biggest investor, Buttsy. And Buttsy, my question for you tonight, why do women get to wear cutoff shorts or shirts and men don't?
Not real fucking sure, Matt. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. In the spirit of diversity, I think we should all be able to wear a cutoff shirt, but it should actually be the other way, right? Like, women's arms are not as big as men's arms, typically. Now, maybe I want to backtrack on that, because like 60% of the PGA Tour today, that they look like fucking jockeys or like toddler mannequins. So, yeah, maybe that's not true. Maybe most of those chicks are actually a little beefier than some of the guys that are swinging golf clubs out there. But yeah, I think that the cutoff golf shirt should definitely be a thing. I can't believe nobody's done it yet, especially living in Arizona. And I would love to pioneer that. I think it's ridiculous that men can't wear a cutoff golf shirt. I mean, we should already be wearing shorts on the PGA Tour too, but that goes without saying. You know, I'll live. We should be wearing cutoffs too.
Wow.
Let's just fuck it. Let's just fucking braid our pit hair and wear it proud. Maybe throw some sponsor logos tied up in there. I don't know.
There it is. I mean, that's phenomenal stuff out of you. We can't wear cutoff shirts at the golf course, and
Why does
women
the
can.
cutoff polo not exist for men?
The sleeveless, right?
Yeah.
Oh, now I get where you're heading with it. That's fantastic.
Sleeveless.
Yeah. A good old tank top with a collar.
Yeah. Sleeveless in Seattle.
I'd vote for that.
Absolutely. All day. That's phenomenal.
Thanks.
So let's. Is there more?
What?
Is there more? I thought you had more.
No, fuck. That's it.
More.
Yeah, that's all I got. Tired.
That's fantastic. So let's get into the TGL recaps. This one I will go ahead and just run us through because over President's Day yesterday, we had 3 matches go on. So we've got the Bay Club versus Boston Common Golf. These were great matches, by the way. So Bay Club ended up winning 5-4. We've got Atlanta Drive going up against the Bay Club in the doubleheader. For the Bay Club, that is. And sure enough, Bay Club wins again, 6-5. They are number 1 in the league in the standings in just about every statistical form you have through the TGL. And then we've got Atlanta Drive versus LAGC. And that one came down to the very end, and Atlanta Drive ended up winning 6-5. Tonight, we had Tiger coming back into the arena for the first time since his mother's passing. And that was the last time that she had seen Tiger play golf. So you had a pretty emotional Tiger there. And he had a little interview with Scott Van Pelt beforehand where he was kind of tearing up and everything. And sure enough, it was not what Tiger wanted tonight. We did not see Tiger's best, which is probably respectable in terms of everything that's going on with him and all the emotions that were going on. Kevin Kisner really struggled as well. And then Tom Kim was the only bright spot for good old Jupiter Golf Links. And then you had New York Golf Club finally showed up, gentlemen. So the stiffest team on the entire roster, New York Golf Club ends up winning 10-3, and they look good. But the one thing that I told everybody in advance is that these guys are going to figure out the nuances to this technology. These guys are going to be able to start to play better golf. Matches are going to get closer. We're going to see better golf overall.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we've seen.
Who was the whatest team? What team?
The Bay Club.
Okay.
Have you noticed? And I think they're avoiding this on purpose, but they have not loaded up the Hero World Challenge golf course digitally for the TGL to compete on. And I think
They're not ready for it.
no, that's for a reason. It rivals everything that they're doing on there, and they know it. And I know they have the rights to it. They could easily digitize that golf course. And it's so hard that not even Tiger and the TGL want to take it on a fucking screen.
I mean, it's too daunting. I mean, it's
The Hero World Challenge. I mean, Albany, that golf course is top notch. I said it
so
last week.
difficult.
If it was only in the United States, Buttsy, we would see it there at a U.S. Open.
Every
They
year,
would play every
year.
major there probably forever because there's not a place on earth, at least, that rivals it in terms of difficulty. So we can go through this every week if we want to, but
We have every week.
I mean, maybe we have.
Literally, I think ever since the Hero World Challenge came to a conclusion, we have been talking about the Hero World Challenge every single week because Buttsy does love himself some Hero World
Yeah.
Challenge.
Well, it seems like a love-hate relationship for Buttsy because he
I
loves
hate
the
it 'cause
fact that it's such a weird thing.
Yeah, I just want the chance to go out there and play and maybe break 500, you know?
Oh, well, no. I mean, they wouldn't even let you play because you'd break the course record by at least 5.
That's
No.
exactly right.
Anyways, I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's just
Did
something.
you guys see Butsy's swing a couple nights ago? Good Lord.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
the
really
purest
close
golf
to.
swing of all time.
I mean, unreal, that man in a lefty stance, just the hands for a big guy like you,
Yeah.
just unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah. I've
It's
been doing some stem cell training and shit, so.
Peptides, baby, peptides. Now,
Yeah.
Brian Shane says, has the trade window opened up for TGL yet? Yeah, well, we don't have a trade window as of yet. I would love to see some of the improvements and changes going on with the TGL, but man, I will say this, I was wrong about the alternate shot because it was actually a lot of fun yesterday watching 3 matches in a row and seeing the guys playing well. That was the big difference.
Yeah.
Once you see these guys start to figure out the technology and stuff, and you can hear them, they're talking about it too. They're like, hey, I got to go a little bit further left than that. And then Justin Thomas is sitting there going, man, I just can't get through it to the left side in order, like in a golf simulator. And he's talking about this with his teammates and everything. And it's a cool experience. And I think everybody now has had enough practice time on the technology. And it's absolutely killing it. And it shows that people have a real interest in team golf in the right environment. And I think
absolutely.
I would love to see something outside as well. That is actually team match play. But we shall see, because guess what? Grass League, as we're talking about team golf, the Grass League has qualifiers coming up, by the way, folks. April 30th. So it's $1,200 for a 2-man team. And this will make you, if you get into the top portion or whatever it is, you will end up being eligible for the draft. So there are several franchises throughout the country. Obviously, it's happening at Grass Clippings here in Phoenix, Arizona, under the lights. But man, this league, high stakes, baby, high stakes. Been talking with our guy Todd, and sure enough, he has reiterated how much is at stake for everybody.
There's a lot of stakes out there.
Buttsy, did you happen to play a round of golf Sunday?
We did not play Sunday evening. That has been postponed. So that's why I put up some simulator vids and tagged those guys just so they could see my stuff.
Absolutely.
And, I said, hey, don't miss the boat on talent. And I don't think they're going to miss the boat. They got life jackets on. We're ready to roll. The motor started. So maybe later this week.
That is awesome. You know, we are always willing to help out with the Grass League. I let those guys know. I'm like, hey, if you need us to come in there and hack it around a little bit, we will certainly do our part out there.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
That's that is an ongoing conversation. But Anti-Liv says there needs to be a Champions League team on the TGL captained by Bernhard Longer, right? Trot golfer. I wonder if they'd call the anchor if Bernhard was out there on the TGL circuit or even on the Grass League circuit. Because the one thing I did realize about the Grass League, which is pretty cool, is that because it's a par 3 course, you can have a women's team out there. You can have a senior team out there and compete. Yeah. Some people today from our audience on Twitter were talking about, would love to see a women's team out there for the TGL. But what about for the Grass League, having a all-female team out there?
I don't hate that at all.
This could be the first time we'd see it.
There's some talent, both in golf and other ways out there here in in Scottsdale and in that area, and I think they would definitely be able to use the depth of golf talent in the YouTube and Instagram influencer world to be able to put together a pretty solid team.
We should have bovine out there. Like we should have maybe even like some animals and stuff participating.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I know some squirrels that can really hack it.
Not like a squirrel and a chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that pig from Charlotte's Web. He's pretty fucking smart.
Yep. And don't forget Donkey. Donkey's pretty good.
Carry on.
Absolutely. Carry on. Brian Shane says, an all aim point team. There you go.
Ooh, we
Now
had
you're
a
thinking.
nice little conversation about that on the back of the range at TPC.
Tell us about it, Brent. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the aim point? Because that has been a big discussion with, I believe it was Lucas Glover that brought up the aim point and how, it's kind of rude for people to be stepping in people's lines all around the green. And sure enough, you've got some intel here, because Colin Morikawa came right back at him and goes, hey, if we're banning aim point, we should be banning long putters.
Yeah, I mean his point was that it slows down play, and that's a definite thing. It's a fact, and it wasn't like he went out there and said, "Hey, player A, B, C, whatever, you all need to stop doing aim points." So the fact that Colin kind of got his panties in a wad and was like, "Well, you need to stop using the long," it's like that has nothing to do with the conversation. So. Clearly, he took it personally because he knows deep down inside there is a problem with aim point. And the rest of us, those that actually read greens with our eyes the correct way, the artists, if you will, all know that aim point is and I think it should be banned, honestly, and because it is slow and it is absolute horseshit.
I have a theory on the slow play thing, and I really think if you take away the aim point, I think some players just have a cadence that is just fucking slow. Like, if you take away the aim point and you take away that aspect of their slowness, they're going to make up for it, like, somewhere else in the hole. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to take longer standing behind this. There's just an amount of time that has to occur to these guys to, like, functionally pull the trigger. I don't know. I just think they're going to be slow no matter what. They'll find a way to pick it back up somewhere else. Yeah.
Beautiful. Great analysis. I love it from both of you, right? Because I've done aim point, and because sometimes I have a tough time reading greens. I'll read greens with my feet. I feel like it can work, but I think it's also partially delusional to where you're like, oh, this is 1 degree slope. I don't know how people do that. 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degrees of slope, and then sticking their fingers up there like they're doing something too.
When you pull out the stimp meter and you watch it week in, week out, even on the best greens that those guys play on. And Brent, you know this. If you fucking pull out a stimp meter and you drop the ball and you drop 10 balls, there's no such thing as a perfect putt. Nothing is exactly consistent. Nothing moves the same way exactly. So to try to put like an exact science on how a putt's going to break, I mean, I think you can get close, but you just have to feel the fucking ball in the hole at some point, right? Like, it just is what it is. It's not going to be the same if you roll it the same again. I mean, we've all hit putts that we thought we missed that went in the hole. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And I think actually the worst part about it, I mean, the slow play again is pretty obvious. I think everybody can agree that it's ridiculous. But they had to make a rule that you couldn't take a level out on the greens on the course, but you could use it on the practice green. Now, what you see is you go out there on the practice green and you literally see numbers and lines on the practice green, and you're like, well, okay, so they're out there literally measuring and they're practicing, and it's just this constant thing. And then you get out there and you play behind somebody like I don't know, Akshay Bhatia, who wears metal spikes, and you can see
Akshay's got the metal spikes.
You can literally see him walk basically the whole line all the way up to his putt. So I mean, he's taking hundreds of steps per green, and it's just fucking bullshit, and it's terrible to play behind him or with him for that matter.
Does he still rock the metal cleats on the tour?
Yeah. Thank God he's not
Corn
fat.
Ferry Tour. Wow, I never see.
Yeah.
That's one of the things you can't really ever tell on TV. I feel like is what guys are wearing metal spikes versus just traditional. And then you got Tony Finau wearing basically no spikes at all with the Jordans.
Oh, he wears tennis shoes. Yeah,
if you're gonna do that, like it could be like golf's version of a Zamboni. As soon as that fucking group leaves the green, somebody comes out, they roll it real fast. All right, cool. Now it's the same for you. It's just not golf.
Well, you've seen what they do at Augusta, right?
Oh, that's
Have you seen what they do at Augusta? So they don't even rake the bunkers. They don't they blow up. Like, let's say there's some wind and maybe a few leaves or some twigs flew on the green or somebody hit out of the bunker. They literally clean the whole green and then somebody else comes in. I mean, they can't do that obviously normally, and Augusta's pretty special. But I mean, could you imagine how long play would be? I mean, the amount of guys that wear metal spikes is enough for it to at least make it interesting.
I think the caddy should have to follow the player around with a 300-pound roller, no matter where they walk on the green, and just
piece of
follow
PVC
behind
pipe
them.
or something.
Yeah, just hey man. I mean,
it's courtesy. It's just common courtesy that you leave the place better than how you found it, right, boys? I mean, come on, we're giving life advice out here on
That's
Full Hook Golf.
absolutely right. Let's move into the Genesis recap while we're getting into all of this PGA Tour talk. Genesis recap. I watched it Sunday, and I got to tell you, I started getting nerves sitting there on the couch watching them on Torrey Pond. Torrey Ponds was in such beautiful condition. It was perfect weather on Sunday, and you had Mav McNeely going absolutely ham out there.
Incredible.
It was incredible. His front nine that he shot, and then he really played a very solid back nine as well. And then you had Ludwig Oberg, who started the day with a couple birdies, then all of a sudden faltered. He had that little lull that he goes through sometimes, and sure enough, made a couple bogeys.
Yeah.
But then towards that back nine, man, that dude just started getting right back in there, started making a lot of birdies. And here was one of the TV complaints. So problem is, we didn't see all of Ludwig Oberg's 3 birdies to catch up, and he made 3 birdies in a row. So I think we ended up seeing the putt of the last one.
Basically.
And I put it out there. I was like, man, they are missing a huge opportunity. They need an extra producer in the truck in order to grab that footage and then play it either in the bottom right-hand corner or like the dual screen and have it be player on a run or player to watch. And all of a sudden you got every single shot, and it could be replays. It could be quick recaps of each shot that he took, but at least you're seeing every single shot that took place during that run. I think that was a little bit of the letdown. It was CBS. Sure. Jim Nantz was brilliant as always. Tiger got into the booth, and Tiger was, I hoped we someday get to see Tiger in the booth because there's so much damn knowledge that he has.
I think he
called every single shot. He was like Tony Romo in there. Remember when Tony Romo first became a broadcaster and he was just calling every single play before it happened?
Instantly. Yeah.
That was Tiger Woods in the booth, and it was pretty cool to see.
They need to bring back like nicknames. Like, remember when Stadler was playing? They'd be like, "Oh, the Walrus!"
Yes.
Like, when do we start calling Aberg like Iceberg or something like that? You know,
blood running through his veins.
Yeah, because he's clutch, dude. He's proven that he's
blood or ice.
I mean, it's incredible, right? I'm ready for it. Come on, bring it. Or what?
Yeah, remember Icebox from fucking Little Giants, dude?
Oh, we need a laughter thing. Gosh darn it. But we'll give you just a little DJ Khaled right there. Brent is shook right now. I've never seen Brent not be able to say anything. That might be a new thing. But you might have just figured out the mute button for the poor guy.
Or the actual mute button. But honestly, I looked up the highlights just to kind of see how it went. And the first comment was, come on, PGA Tour, can't you string together an actual timeline? They went back and forth, and you didn't see Ludwig until the very end. I mean, you basically saw all of Mavericks round. You saw a couple of shots from Denny, and bless Denny, man. That guy is going to break through at some point. He is so
I'm glad
good.
you brought up Denny McCarthy, but go ahead, Buttsy.
But yeah, go ahead.
And Tom Cruise jumping out of a plane.
Maverick. You're Maverick. Cut to the plane. Iceberg. Show Leo on the fucking door out there about to die. I don't know. Just there's a lot of action that we could add here. It'd be really entertaining.
I mean, I think you just signed your resume and just send it off. I think that's what you need to do.
The other thing I did say is how I would love to see there be a couple more waste management open style tournaments throughout the year. Not just one on the PGA Tour, but like have it be in a major city like a Miami or, for instance, a New York City, and have that stadium feel to it with everybody like a little bit rowdy and everything. You can have some music playing, whatever, but have it be authentic to that city because that's the type of stuff that goes on there versus, and by the way, this was a perfect example of a golf course that needed no frills whatsoever. Torrey Pines, San Diego, like the calm, peaceful, like the purest style of golf.
Absolutely.
I thought that part of it was perfect.
People living in tents on the side of the freeway, like we should probably highlight that about the area. I mean, it's like shit like that.
I mean,
not in Torrey Pines. That's downtown San Diego. That's just California in general.
Well, I was going to say,
or at least like a Kentucky Derby vibe at one of the events, right? Where guys get dressed up, and like turn of the century shit, and there's a cocktail for the tournament. I don't know, just some flavor here. We need like some action.
Yeah,
we need some action.
That was what was amazing about the broadcast is you hear all these guys. Well, obviously, but you hear these guys like when something happens, they're like yelling into the mic, right? When it wasn't 2 seconds ago when they were just like, and he makes this putt. Oh, that was really good. And now they're trying to instill some sort of magic into what's happening. And I mean, I just wish at the end of the day, like you said, I mean, Torrey Pines was probably set up as close to how a U.S. Open would be. Obviously, they had some rain recently, so it was a little softer than normal, but all the pins were very similar to the U.S. Open. The fact that Ludwig made that putt from the same place that Tiger made his putt, made his putt on 18 against Rocco. I think it's just it was amazing to watch. It's one of my most favorite places, and the fact that it's right there on the ocean honestly makes it better than Riv. But that's just me. What do you think?
Like imagine Snoop in the booth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
or
like,
you.
Oh, he ain't gonna be happy with that motherfucker. He blew it by. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Snoop would be. You ever heard Snoop on the Animal Planet shit?
Mm-hmm.
It's
with the mongoose that runs away from
or he's talking about it on Planet Earth where the little lizard runs from the snakes on the beach.
Yeah.
Snoop's commenting
that.
Oh, damn. They got his ass. If he was
today,
on the
bitch.
PGA Tour, scratch golf show, he'll lead the party at Rocket Mortgage. Dude, get out there and get it done.
Absolutely. But Matt, so what if
you're right, son.
But isn't that the point of all of these elevated events is to kind of make them basically pseudo majors and get people to really get out there and really, kind of get after it? Or, am I missing something?
I think you're missing the actual real point behind the Signature Series events.
Oh.
It was to get all the best players in the world together at the same tournaments and pay them a boatload of money with no cut.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But there was a cut this week. There was a cut this week. And good old Ludwig, man, that just the way he finished was unbelievable. Yeah. Let's move. Oh, did want to mention real quick, Denny McCarthy. Yeah.
Denny McCarthy.
Oh, boy,
Denny's going to break through. Denny's way too good of a putter, but I have noticed something with Denny that he struggles when he gets into the lead on Sunday.
Yep.
He all of a sudden gets nervy. Yep. The putter starts.
He's got to do it once.
Yeah, he's got to get it there. And once he does, he's pretty incredible. Even what Maverick was doing off the tee on Sunday, considering he shot what he shot. You saw it there on 18, but to finish the day there to make par. But yeah, even last year at the Valero, right during that playoff against Akshay, he literally laid the sod over from 94 yards. And the guy's one of the best wedge players on tour, and yet clearly something was wrong. But I believe in him. He's incredible. He's one of the best putters of all time. So he's definitely going to break through.
Brian, and I hate to cut you off, but he's somebody who I think would do really well talking to a guy like Thomas Dietrich, who has struggled on Sundays and be like, hey, man, what is this meditation routine that you went through in order to get to that level? I love seeing guys because what has all the greats ever said? That it all happens in between the ears, right? 90% of golf is mental. Yeah. What is the one part that doesn't get worked on the most? The mental side.
Yeah.
And so the guys that actually do, we saw it with Tiger growing up and being very Zen and Buddha, like from his mom and like his dad with all the mental warfare that he would bring to him on the golf course. It was absolutely something that, Tiger was ready for when those big moments came. And I just think guys can do a lot better job when it comes to that side of it.
And everybody talks about that, right? The mental game between the ears, like you said. But what's the result of being in control of that, right? What does it really boil down to? Like in my mind, that puts you in control of your nervous system. Like,
Yes.
that's what it does. It takes away, because your nervous system, we all know. You said he laid the sod over it, right? The only way that you lay the sod over it as one of the most elite players in the world is for your nervous system to completely fail you and shut down, and you have no control over what your body's doing because your brain is in such a state of anxiety and fear and terror all at the same time. If you can block that out, you're a fucking, those are winners.
Yeah, and it comes down to self belief. I mean, that's really
Or being
what it
really dumb.
Well, yeah, and they talk about that. They talk about
PJ,
that in
baby.
the talent code.
Good old Dustin Johnson.
Yeah,
He hits ball, Bobby, and I go find it.
If you'll fade it, make sure you fade it. Yeah, I mean, it literally gets to a point.
By the way,
where,
disclaimer, I love Dustin Johnson. I'm a huge Dustin Johnson fan. And I love that he has just kind of gone off into the twilight of his career now. And
why wouldn't
just
you? Make your $1 billion and just say later.
Goes out on the water all off season, doesn't give two shits about golf, and just goes. He's awesome.
He proved it. He proved it for 12 years.
The most stylish exit ever.
Yeah. I mean, Dustin literally was one of the most consistent golfers for almost 15 years.
Okay.
And again, go ahead, Denny. Ooh, that's.
I thought this was a good question.
Yeah.
So Denny and or Mav, do they make the Ryder Cup team? I'm going to start with you, Buttsy.
Mav should.
Mav does.
Denny needs a little more proofington.
Wow, I agree with both of you guys right now.
Yeah. Mav makes it almost just because, I mean, obviously he's incredible and he's playing great. Hopefully he can keep it going. But it's his relationships with the other guys that although who knows, because he's a little bit outspoken against some of the things that the PGA Tour does. So we will see if it gets political or not. But
it could.
Yeah,
but
hopefully not.
With Mav, I think he's got to keep playing well throughout the rest of the year. I think he's going to actually have a big year overall. But he does have to keep playing, keep winning.
I need him to play better because I have an absolutely super rare rookie card of Mav McNeely that is clear acetate. Very, very hard to come across. It is his rookie upper deck card, and I need him to do better because this thing is fucking trending.
Love that for you. Love that for you. And now we've got the Mexico Open at Vidanta World. Okay, Vidanta World is one word.
Vidanta!
Vidante, but yeah.
Vidante World. All right. So with Vidante World, we've got the odds. I'm going to go over those real quick. Remember last year, Butsy's guy, good old Jake Knapp.
The nap time.
This was his big breakthrough win, remember? Yep. And I've been seeing a lot of clips from last year's round of his super smooth, silky golf swing, bombing it.
Mr. File transfer himself.
There was a video on YouTube of somebody talking about how good his swing is and that everybody should try to recreate it because it's such an amazing golf swing. And you're like, there's only one human being on the planet that could pull that off. I
feel like I have like a miniature version of Jake Knapp's swing.
Quite literally, because it's literally short.
You might have the exact opposite of Jake Knapp.
Oh,
you go a little short and you whack
a little. It's the same.
A little. Great follow through though.
Great follow through. My God. And the hands
same.
on you, by the way. I saw those videos in slow mo. I had no idea when you were working with Martin Chuck that you were that steep. I had no idea. You're getting some width in your swing.
Yeah,
we've been working on that.
Thing. We've been working on that. Yeah, structure is what those nerds call that. And
structure.
Yeah, we're building some scaffolding there in the downswing. So, yeah, B-Nap. That's right. Mr. File Transfer himself, the Napster. That's right.
Absolutely. Now, as we talk about Vidanta, let me go over the odds this week, okay? We've got good old metal spike aim point man himself, Akshay Bhatia, plus 1,400. Thank you, Brent, for those details.
The mantis.
And he's the favorite this week. The brown praying mantis, as Buttsy nicknamed him last year.
That's my fucking favorite.
No, but that goes back to your point, though. That like we had Craig Stadler, the Walrus. You think he wanted to be called the Walrus?
No,
I don't think so.
Walrus is a big fat bird on the beach.
It should be Akshay Bhatia, the brown praying mantis.
Maybe take the brown out of it. I mean, maybe people might
just go praying mantis.
Yeah,
just because he's super skinny.
Yeah.
But if there ever was a brown praying mantis, it would be Akshay Bhatia.
Yeah.
Then we've got Rasmus Højgaard at plus 1,800. We've got Kirk Kitayama, Sam Stevens, Patrick Rogers, who he was up there over the weekend at the Genesis. They're all at plus 2,200. Steven Jägermeister, Taylor Moore, and then Michael Kim at plus 2,500. Harry Hall is plus 3,000. Aaron Rye, Ben Griffin plus 3,300. Bo Hostler, Kevin Yu plus 3,500. Alex Smalley, Nicholas Norgegaard, Jake Knapp, which is surprising Jake Knapp's so deep in this field, but who knows? Nikolai Højgaard, the brother of Rasmus, is plus 4,000. CT Pan is plus 5,000. Matt Wallace, Patrick Fishburne, and Thorbjorn Olsen. Olafson?
That's
Thorbjorn.
Thorbjorn.
There you go.
Thorbjorn.
Thorbjorn Olesen.
Thorbjorn Olesen.
Thobo.
Plus 5,500. So, guys, let's go over our picks this week. I'm going to start with you, Buttsy. Who are you liking this week?
I'm going to, obviously, Knapp is deep in my heart, but because we have the same golf swing mainly. But I'm going to go with Bo Hostler. I've been waiting for Bo to break through for a long time, and he's got it. He's got it. He almost won the Hero, and he is right there.
Wow. Brent, how about you? I got nothing else to say to that.
Well,
Zach
I gotta
Blair.
Oh,
Trout's got Zach Blair.
oh my goodness. Let's
He's
see.
second alternate. He might not get into the tournament.
Tom Lane.
I think Rogers probably gets it done. Just he's trending.
I think Patrick Rogers. Okay. Well,
Yep.
This is a Bombers golf course. This was one that Jake Knapp, for instance, circled on his calendar at one that he could absolutely compete at. And so I'm not going Jake Knapp. I'm actually going with Steven Jaeger. He's been trending in the right direction. He's been up there quite a bit. At the beginning of the year, he dealt with some pull hooks during the final round out in Hawaii. So I've got myself Steven Jaeger. I think he bombs it. He absolutely is a Jaeger bomber. Love that for him. And then we've got in our next topic, golfers that are on the decline. Good old LIV Golf, folks, which good old Buttsy watched the Adelaide. I did not. So we are getting into our favorite topic, which is LIV Golf, or the lack thereof, because I no longer watch the golf tournaments. I have a lot more time. And sure enough, I mean, Buttsy, why don't you go ahead and let us know how your Adelaide experience was, since nobody else watched?
It was fucking awesome. Probably rivals.
What day did you watch?
I watched all of it, every second of it, to be honest.
On the tape delay?
Yeah, I watched it all. I blocked out time over the weekend, and I sat on my belly on the ground with my phone like this, and
for some reason, I thought you were serious at first that you watched it, and I was just like, all right, well, let's get the intel here as to how good this golf tournament was.
I wasn't going to watch, but the CEO of LIV came out, and he made it very clear that if you want to watch the best players in the world, you watch LIV Golf, and I took that right here to the chest, and I was like, damn, I didn't know that. So I locked in, I locked back in, I've given it another chance, and I thought it was one of the greatest events, just below the Hero, that I've probably ever seen in my life. So the guy made a hole-in-one on the...
guy? Which one? Which guy?
I forget who it was. But it was super sick. It was really cool. It was really cool.
You know what LIV Golf was that was really cool was the pumping in of audience noise. And I mean, LIV Golf, just fantastic stuff out of them.
I'd like to see them have that tournament here, but yeah, it was very entertaining. Lots of good golf being played out there. And I can't wait till next year, if there is a next year.
So it's funny, baiting the LIV Golf cult on Twitter especially, the one thing that they will absolutely lose their minds about is viewership numbers. I could care less about viewership numbers. Okay. I am full of shit when all of a sudden I'm on Twitter and I'm bringing up, oh, the viewership is going down and this and this and this. It's like, but talk to people, literally talk to people and see if they're watching LIV Golf. People that used to watch LIV Golf in years past. And in my experience, they're no longer watching. Buttsy, you're not watching. Brent, you're not watching.
I did watch, dude. I told you I watched.
That's right.
And
That's
all
right,
of my friends were texting me about, what was going on out there as well.
You might be one of the best just trollers like in the game.
Why do you keep saying troll, dude? Like, I don't understand this. I don't look like a troll. Like, what does that
Actually,
even mean?
that bush behind you kind of makes you a little troll.
That's real.
That is real. Dude, I like the hair too, by the way. Sorry. Totally
What's going on with your hair?
No, the hair looks great. It's in the back too.
Fucked up.
No, it's in the back. It's getting long.
Oh yeah, we're trying, man. I've been
You're going for that little mullet?
Every time I spend more than an hour watching LIV Tour, it grows a little. My growth hormone levels peak. And that's because I'm excited when that happens, and it's been proven, like, yeah, huge adrenaline rush. It's just a lot. So
during the broadcast, Tiger Woods brought up that we should soon be seeing the game coming back together.
Yes,
a unification, right?
Yeah.
Now, LIV on their side, they just posted that they're going to be in Adelaide until 2031. So it's like this battle in the media as to what's going on or who's going to get who. And sure enough, Adam Scott had some comments about the whole thing as well. And he said, I wouldn't be surprised or I wouldn't judge anyone, the members, if reunification happened and they weren't happy with how it happened. So there's some talk going on that some players might lose some spots on the PGA Tour because of guys coming back over. And Adam Scott, by the way, is involved with these meetings and negotiations and so forth. So he's part of the negotiation committee, if I'm not wrong there. And then I hope they're not spending as much time talking about it as I have. I wouldn't hold it against anybody if there were negative emotions attached to it. The thought of players coming back. And then he was asked, is this the only path forward? And he goes, no, there are other paths. This is one way of moving forward. So
if he's healthy,
if this happens, who do you guys want to see come back?
I don't know who's coming back, but I wouldn't put it past Tiger to see him play Adelaide next year, like if he's healthy.
Well, of course.
I mean, who wouldn't want to play Adelaide?
I mean, I think that's where the majority of PGA Tour events should be held, right there in Hero World.
I could see him probably being in the field there next year.
Yeah, of course. Shit. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't even keep a straight face. The problem, the amazing thing is if Bryson comes back, if Brooks comes back, if any of these guys that have played Asian or DP World come back in, I mean, you're going to see 5 to 10 players just get removed, and there's nothing anybody's really going to do about it because of where the money's going. And
I mean, they need Bryson back. They need Bryson back.
I'd like to, but who would you guys want back? Like, I've got a list of guys. I would want to see Brooks back. I would want to see Bryson back. I'd want to see Joaquin Neiman come back.
Probably.
And I'm disappointed that we've lost Cam Smith, but I think Cam Smith is done. I don't think he'll come back.
I'd like to see Lee Westwood return.
I can't think. I mean, the audience loves it though. They love Lee Westwood.
You asked a question, and I'm just being honest. And like, I think he's a great player. I think he's sniffed so many major championships. He's basically like the modern day Greg Norman. And I don't think he's done yet. I think he's got a lot left in the bag. And if they don't bring him back, I think it'd be an absolute travesty. So, yeah, that's my answer to your question.
There you go. I'm trying to think of other play like Patrick Reed. The tour probably doesn't want him back. I would like to see him back. He's a good player. Like Patrick Reed, he's, by the way, the one that made the hole-in-one at Adelaide.
Oh, Reed is the best.
Well, literally, I mean, he's clearly the greatest player.
One of the most honest players
and
ever
you know,
played.
I mean, his integrity is just boundless, right?
It's unbelievable. And what a nice guy. Just
Well-
one of the best human beings on the face of the planet, Patrick Reed is.
Sorry, babe.
He apologizes.
Oh, I thought we were frozen. I didn't hear anything there. I thought we were froze up. I might shit the bed tonight.
Any of the Englishmen you'd want back? Ian Poulter. You said Lee Westwood.
Ian's another one, a world-class match player. Everybody knows that. Yeah,
Henrik
Ian's
Stenson.
up there.
Stenson you'd want back, you think?
I mean, Henrik Stenson is by far one of the most prolific European players of the last 20 years.
He is.
So,
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
he's actually really, really good.
He's prolific.
How many guys do you think are just going to abs? Oh, Terrell Hatton. We forgot about good old madman himself.
Terrell and only
Tyrell.
Terrell. Terrell's so fucking good at golf, dude. We're sitting here making all these, like, we're laughing about this shit.
Oh,
but, like,
Rom. We forgot about Rom. Got to get Rom back.
As we start digging into this, we're going, holy shit, there's a lot of really good players on the LIV Tour, I guess.
I mean, but at the end of the day, right, the fact is these guys are going to be bumping out guys that made it in the top 100 after this year.
Oh,
And
fuck those
I mean,
guys.
come on. I mean, like, whomever, right? 95 to 100. They're not that good. They just made $3 million. They're top 150 in the world.
They go back to
Whatever.
the
I knew
form
Brent
theory.
was going to have a big opinion on this one coming from his perspective, because imagine, Brent, that you were one of those guys that get pushed out after you had just gotten your card.
Yeah, I mean, so let's say one of these Korn Ferry Tour rookies gets it done and he, does really, really well, which to get inside the top 100, by the way, you got to play really well. Like there's not like, you can't just like place maybe second or third once and then miss a bunch of cuts. You got to do that a few times
Kevin Na.
and then play consistently. Well, yeah, he can suck
Yeah.
it. But at the end of the day, I mean, so you break through your top 20 in the Korn Ferry and then you get top 100, which hardly any rookie has ever done over the last 5 to 10 years. And then you get told, you know what? Sorry. Later,
Your
dude.
spot's been given to Lee Bestwood.
Exactly. Lee Bestwood or Kevin Na. I mean, I think honestly they bring back Pat Perez. I mean, that's a clear top 25 player in the world. So, they really should do that.
Brent, that's not your bag, babe.
Oh, God. You guys, dude, between the two of you, you guys crack me the fuck up because you guys couldn't be more dead spot on. I mean, my God, just absolute analysis that is happening here. Austin says Hank can go back to the DP World Tour and work his way back. Wow, those are harsh words, but I will say this. I do not really love the fact that any of these guys are going to come back and take spots. Right? That's the tough thing.
I don't think any of them trump Blades Brown being sponsor exempted into every event on the PGA Tour this year, though. He should have a spot in every event.
You guys ready, Brent? Brent, lock in.
All right, Magic
Brent,
Mind.
lock in. All right, so we are signing off. Now, here we go. You guys ready? Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Now we're signing off here, folks. Go to DevereuxGolf.com. Good old DEVEREUX golf.com. Utilize promo code PullHookGolf20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order. We also want to thank our partners in Johnnie Walker. And we're out for the night. You guys ready for the music outro? Here we go.